You might think this is really weird, but I'm going to tell you about 3 ways that you can use your thoughts to make yourself healthy and stay healthy. My name's Eric, and I am a certified life coach, and I'm here to coach you along the health journey. And everything that I say is just my opinion, and I hope that it'll be helpful to you. So, maybe you've heard of Joe Dispenza. This is kind of where I originally got this thought that, yes, thinking can make you healthy. Have you heard of him? Now, I'll probably get his story wrong, but this is kind of the way the story is. I think he was riding his bicycle and had a bad accident and it messed up his spine or something like that. He was laying in the hospital bed, paralyzed, and I think they said that there was no hope for him to recover. And he decided that he was going to think healthy thoughts, that he was going to think himself well, and that's what he claims to have done. And this miracle occurred in his life that by thinking positive thoughts about his health and well being, he was able to fully recover. And I'm sure if you look up Joe Dispenza on the internet, you'll find out a lot more about him. So um, it's kind of a crazy idea, but it also makes sense. I'm going to talk about 3 ways that you can think yourself healthy. And this is not above and beyond, the normal stuff of proper exercise and proper diet and getting a good night's sleep, but it goes right along with it. So let's get right into it. Number 1 uh, is having a positive attitude. Now, we go through life, we're troubled by things, we worry about things, and some people tend to be very negative about their thoughts, their attitude. And if you get to know those people, you'll probably also find that they're having health issues. This is my analysis. And I believe that if we have a positive attitude, that our our mind will tell our body that there is a better way to be, that our body can also be positive and healthy because our mind is positive and healthy. How do we do this? Okay, so for example, worrying. I'm sure you've never worried, but I worry about my grandchildren and my adult children. Worrying tends to be negative in that when we worry, we're thinking that something bad might happen, and we're trying to think about how to avoid the bad thing, how to help it to stop, um, hoping that the bad thing doesn't happen. You see, it tends to be negative. So here's how we switch that around. When we have a worrying thought, for example, um, if I'm worried that my granddaughter is going to get pregnant out of wedlock or something like that, instead, I can have a positive thought that um, she is going to make good, responsible decisions in her life, and she is going to act in a mature way in her relationships, and I'm going to think these positive thoughts. Will it affect her? I don't know. Maybe the next time talk to her about things, about her relationships and stuff like that, and what she's doing in her life, maybe my positive thoughts rather than negative worrying thoughts will influence the conversation to help me to um, send that positive energy her way. But how does that affect my health? By worrying, our mind is stressing our body, and stress, as I've talked about in previous videos, stress it can cause your liver so to for your body to create cortisol and for your liver to store fat. So that's kind of a simple version of it. But we don't want to stress ourselves with these negative thoughts. So worrying, we just change that into positive ideology. Okay. Another way we can have positive thoughts is as we go through our daily life, our activities, we try to be aware of what we're thinking. And if we notice that we're having a negative thought, we can just turn that around. Another example, um, I might have a thought. This happens to me sometimes in the evenings when I'm getting tired, and I'll start having negative thoughts that, um, you know, I'm not a good person or people don't like me. Those kind of self-deprecating thoughts. And um, so what I do now is I do yes, but. So if I have a negative thought, like I'm really tired and I just feel like, the whole world is against me right now, that could be a reality for you. Yes, but, and then I turn it around into positive thoughts and I think, yes, but tomorrow's a new day and I'm going to reach out to someone tomorrow and um, be their friend or say hello to someone in the store or wherever I am. Um, show kindness to someone. So I can turn this negative thought of how I think the world perceives me and say, yes, that may be a reality for me at the moment, but I can now make it a positive thing and I can reach out and do something loving to somebody else, whether it's family member, friend, or a complete stranger. Okay, so the next area is gratitude. Now, this one is kind of interesting. I have always focused on gratitude. Now, I am a spiritual, religious type person, and I pray. I pray all day long. I pray in the morning, I pray at night, I pray over my meals. And I had always been taught to say grace uh, before a meal. So let's see, how does it go? God is good. We thank you for this food. Amen. Okay. I like that because it's a positive um, outlook about God and it's gratitude about my food. And so when I pray now, I try to express gratitude. I try to think, what am I thankful for? What blessings do I have in my life? And if I'm having a bad day, maybe I can only think of a couple of things like, I wasn't in a car accident today. I'm thankful for that. But usually I can list off things I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for our home. Thankful for good health. I'm thankful. My wife probably chuckles when she hears me pray. I'm thankful for indoor plumbing and central heat in the wintertime. So this is an exercise you can do. You don't have to be a prayer person or a religious person. You can just open your heart up to the universe, or you could just say it to someone else. Hey, I just want to tell you, by the way, I'm thankful today, and I'm thankful that I can afford to go to the grocery store and buy food. I'm thankful when I get to the grocery store that there's food on the shelves. I'm thankful that uh, when I go to the gas station, I don't have to wait in long lines. You remember back in the 1970s when we actually had gas um, rationing and we had to wait in line to get gas. I'm thankful I don't have to do that now. I'm thankful that I can afford to buy gasoline for my car. So these are some examples. And there's a YouTuber, what's his name? Ben Azadi, talks all about health stuff. He's a pretty fascinating individual, and he calls it vitamin G. So if it's easier for you to remember to take your vitamins every day when you're taking your vitamins, remember to take vitamin G. And if you don't have vitamin G yet, just when you empty a pill bottle, write on a label or a piece of paper G and tape it to that pill bottle and put it with your pills and your vitamins so that every day when you go to take those pills, you'll say, hey, there's a vitamin G bottle. And that reminds you, if you haven't gotten it yet, G stands for gratitude. And vitamin G, having gratitude, really can affect your health better. And I think this goes back to cortisol and these hormones, stress hormones that your body makes. If if you're always feeling like you need something, that you don't have enough, that's not gratitude. And that can lead you down a negative path. Your body will create cortisol, and that stores fat, and it has a deleterious effect on your overall health and well being. Okay, and the third item is before I get to this one, and I love this one so much, and I'm terrible at it, I'll admit that. But before I get to it, I want to invite you to click on that subscribe button. Would you please? If you're listening to this today and you've gotten this far in the video, you probably think what I have to say is of some interest. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the subscribe button, and while you're there pushing buttons, gently press that like button too. The subscribe button helps uh, you to get future videos. It also tells YouTube that this video might be beneficial to someone else. And when you hit the like button, it tells me that I'm doing all right. So I'd appreciate it. Okay, here is the big one that I'm not very good at, and I'm going to try to learn to be better at. And this is going to improve your health and well being, and that is rest. And you're thinking, okay, sometimes I take a little nap in the afternoon. I'm retired, I can do that. Or, yeah, I sleep at night. Isn't that rest? That's not what I'm talking about. We've talked about sleep in other videos, and you can go back and look at this. Actually, I'm going to put in, up here in the corner in this video a link to my video about sleep. Okay? Rest. What I mean is where you stop what you're doing and you take some time, 10 or 15 minutes, to be in a quiet place. Some people might do meditation. Have you ever tried that? Some people will go for a little walk. My mother wrote a note to me and it said, slow down, take a walk by the river, rest. And that was an important message to me from her that I'm very busy. I'm just a busy kind of guy. I like to be busy. And that told me that I need to stop sometimes and just go out and take a little walk or just sit down. I like to crochet. Sit down, crochet for 15 minutes. Don't even listen to any YouTube. So that's the idea of rest. Now, what can we rest from? We could rest from television or watching movies they call stress. We could rest from the news. The news is stressful. Take a rest from it. We could take a rest from social media. How many times do you click on uh, YouTube or Instagram or Pinterest or X, Reddit? There's all kinds of ones out there. The next door, I think it's called Next Door. There's all kinds of social media things out there. Take a break from it. What would be a great exercise for you is to take a break from social media for a whole week. Do you think you could do that? If you did that for a whole week, I want you to come back and write a comment in this video and tell me what your experience was. Rest from these things. What else can we rest from? I had some ideas. Rest from worrying. Uh, Rest from anything that seems to be habit forming to you. So if you like to gamble, take a rest from that. If if you're a smoker or a drinker, take a rest from that. Take a break from it for a day and see how you feel. Maybe you'll realize that you're not so much in control after all, and you should make some changes in your life. These are things to think about. I could talk about this a lot more, but I really appreciate you being here today, and I hope that you will um, take time to think about this idea of how our thoughts can lead to good health or bad health. I don't want to talk about the negative though. So we can think ourselves healthy. And I want you to be well.